Hello, welcome to this yet another edition of this interview program. And now I'm sitting once again with the eminent dermatologist of Nepal, who's also the chairman of DISHAK, DI Skin Health and Referral Center, Professor Dr. Anil Kumar. The reason why I'm having him in the studio once again is this is going to be the follow-up interview to his participation at the 23rd International Conference on Telemedicine and eHealth held in Helsinki from the 15th of March till the 17th of March. And in that conference, Professor Dr. Jha was also present. So I'm coming back to you, Professor Dr. Jha, just to get a retrospective follow-up to the interview I took last time before you left. So the purpose of the visit to Helsinki, Finland was...
It was very fruitful, number one, and though it was very hectic, when I flew from Kathmandu, it was quite late at the airport. And then I missed the flight in Doha.
You missed the flight?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I missed the flight in Doha. So I had to, due to the grace of the Qatar Airways, they somehow they managed. Otherwise, I was not in position to attend the conference.
Oh God.
So from there, I had to go to Stockholm by flight, and from back to again Finland. And then after that, I checked in cruise. And I entered, so 24 hours I was continuously without sleep and without going to washroom and all that. So, and in that condition, I had to present my paper.
Didn't you repent going that far without having sleep, without having rest?
Yeah, that was quite hectic, but I didn't repent because the purpose was to present a paper that I could do, and purpose was to chair the session, and that I could. Yes, if I had missed the conference, then I would have repented.
Yes. Now let's go back or come back to the delegates at the conference. International conference must have had many delegates attending.
There were around 300 delegates.
And from Nepal, you were
From Nepal, I was alone.
Professor Dr. Jha was the chosen one from Nepal.
I was alone.
That's right. Would you tell us a little bit about the atmosphere of the conference at that time?
Well, that is uncomparable. It was so peaceful, and everything was so nicely organized. The time, the very important part, if it was even 1 minute, was important for them, and it happened so that for the chairing the session, I was 2 minutes late, and they started the session, and after I went there, then again it was continued though, but even 1 minute they don't wait for anybody. As there's a proverb, time and tide wait for no man.
That's true.
So they follow that really, and that I saw that.
Now talking about your that was the guest address, or what did you say just now?
Chairing
the session.
And then,
And I heard in that video, in a Thanksgiving letter to the host in Helsinki, Finland, well, after returning from Nepal, you have spoken about DISHAK's interest in joining as member of that...
The International Association. That they have invited us to join them. And we are waiting for the upcoming conference in November, and it's a similar association will be formed. It's better that association and this association, they become member of each other, so that it can be a good cooperation.
So DISHAK is spreading its glory everywhere, not only nationally but internationally.
Yeah, of course.
Too. Yes, then I would just like to know about this type of decisions, important decisions taken at the conference. Can you just highlight some of them?
Yeah, in fact, one thing, it was an international conference, but the different countries of member countries, I would say, they hold that conference. And what I saw as the interesting thing, though decision was not important for us because we are one of the participants, But I saw one thing, and it was very impressive, that during that conference, the health ministry special secretary was deputed there just to know about the conference, so that they could change the policy and modify the policy according to that conference, which is just reverse here. Nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares. That's true.
And they came and they talked about the policy, and that is going to be implemented after that conference. That is especially in regard to the e-health and telehealth.
Then, how does Daishak benefit from the conference?
Yes. So first thing, when we went there, many people do not really know about our country. So we could introduce our country, number one. We could represent our country, Nepal, that is two. And third one, I could represent the Daishak. So that was first thing, one achievement. Second achievement, the topic itself, e-health and telehealth. In their part of the world, they are so advanced that what we are doing is a primitive things, and which is required for our country, of course, and what they are doing is required for their country. So totally it varies. They don't think of a single minute of load shedding, whereas we, if there's a continuity of electricity for few hours, we are happy that it has happened. Just reverse. Number two, they are surprised, and they were very much surprised to know that it takes around 5 hours to travel 50 kilometers or 60 kilometers here in Nepal. So that we could exchange our views, we could exchange our geographical knowledge, and at the same time practically how e-health and telehealth could be applied in each country. That was one of the most important things that we could observe, we could share. That was most. Then the third, another important thing was that with that one, they wanted to invite us as a member for the association. So that was one achievement. Another one, that with that conference, we can have one future extra collaboration or additional collaboration after some time when we become the member, or our coming conference association becomes the member of that part.
So now it's really interesting to know that this international conference in Helsinki was not confined to spacious buildings, with beautiful terraces and gardens and so on. For 3 days, this conference, international conference, was held in a cruise, and you enjoyed that. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Definitely. Though I had previous experience, but not as a conference, as just a tourist. I have been experiencing cruise, but this was a separate first experience for me, attending a conference on cruise. So in that way it was very interesting, but thing was that we didn't feel that we are we are on the land or we are on the seas. We are so much concentrated. Hall was like on the land, and only sometime there was cracking of the ice and snows, because it was full of ice and snow at that time, and there was cracking sound from the below your foot. You could feel that something is crunching there. So that was the sound, and everything was so nice and so well organized. The camera and everything that you might have seen the video, there's nothing like disturbances. Sometimes there was a shaky like this. And another thing, we did enjoy it on the ship, but at the same time they took us in Stockholm at a city tour, but it's not exactly a city tour. We went to some clinics where advanced the development regarding the e-health and telehealth apps has been there. So we went there, we observed those clinics, we had a city tour in Stockholm, and then we came back to ship again and back to Finland again. So while presenting papers and we had a small cabin. I was allotted a single cabin for me, but there are many peoples. But at the same time, it was not only for the conference. They have so many halls that we are a part of that game. There were many other people who are enjoying, who were there. They were enjoying, of course, more than us because they were not attending the conference. But we had different type of enjoyment with the conference and interactions and all. One thing more important than that, I had chance to distribute the brochures which I carried there, and in fact I didn't give in hand to hand, but I left it over some desk, and 150 brochures were picked up, and I was very happy, because at least by interest somebody picked up that, and maybe many of them is going to attend the upcoming conference that we'll having in near future.
Yeah, coming back to that cruise again.
Yeah.
You visited with the help of the single cruise 2 countries.
Yeah, definitely.
And you enjoyed doing that?
Yeah, that was enjoyment, because Sweden and I was very surprised, like in Malaysia and Singapore, there's a similar type of cruise, the tourism and all that. But there I feel that when I went down, nobody checked me, the passport and nothing, and we went very easily from one country to another country. We came back, whereas in Malaysia and there, so many, they used to keep the passport, and then nothing like that. So it was very easy, where I felt as if I'm going in one country only. So that was interesting for me, visiting 2 countries at a time due to the ship or cruise.
A lovely cruise and a very healthy conference.
Yeah.
What message or organizational ideas have you brought with you for the forthcoming conference, international conference in November?
Very important and nice question. I would like to answer this question as saying that I had a lot of experience of organizing a conference in better way than I had idea. I have organized many conferences international, but thing is that your place, you have to cut your cloth according to your, that's the thing. So in fact that was the thing, but because they have everything organized there, I have been telling that several times, that in those countries it's so peaceful, everything going on so on, people very simple and not showy people, and they are developing a lot. And in that context, every system is in line. You have to just go through and you come out of the pipeline. Here you have to struggle for small things. You have to think for the basic things first, and then think for the higher things that they have been doing it. But the organization, how to organize the international conference, one thing, 2 things I could see that president, the organizing president himself tried to interact with each the registered delegates, saying that the feedback of the conference and all that, this I could learn from that. So, and I'm going to apply in upcoming conference, that after the conference taking a feedback from each delegates. And here, if you are a president and a chairperson organizing, you feel that why should you do everything, the other people should do that. But there they don't feel that. If president have more responsibility, and they think that each delegates should be in their contact. They send a mail to each delegates, all informations by that, and that makes conference really more good.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
That the forthcoming international conference in November will also gain momentum, and that will run very smoothly, based on the experiences and knowledge you have gained at that conference in Helsinki.
Yeah.
So I thank you, Professor Dr. Jha, for being available for this interview, and we hope that our Daishak really climbs higher steps, even to further glory and prosperity.
Thank you. It's my pleasure and it's my honor too.
So I was talking to the eminent dermatologist and chairman of Daishak, Professor Dr. Anil Kumar Jha, who has returned some time ago after taking part at the 23rd International Conference on Telemedicine and Telehealth, and this was actually the follow-up interview to that interview which I took last time before we left Kathmandu in order to attend the conference there. So once again, thank you very much for watching. I'm Michael Chand in Kathmandu.